So we know that something is coming, but what is it that's coming?
Still and silent, calm before the storm, gold and diamond, jewels behind the throne, into the night, out of the dark, take to the sky, chasing the stars, all that we said, all that we are, waiting to fly, this is the start. Hide and seek, reason and rhyme, grand and glorious, living the dream, yours and mine, euphoria.
Hi guys, welcome back to True Sacred Union. I'm Debbie Dubois, and we are here with the December energy reports for twin flames, sacred counterparts, original pairs, and all divine love connections. So we're going to see what the cards have to say today. I'm looking forward to this reading because I decided not even to think about what questions I'm going to ask. This is going to be completely divinely guided based on stuff that I want to know that I think you're going to want to know. So that's what we're going to do. While I'm shuffling, I wanted to just let you guys know that, I didn't know about you, but November seemed to be a month that was extremely hectic. Like the energies were really strong, pushing and expanding, and it seemed like there wasn't enough time in the day. I just was like, I felt like I was rushing constantly. Then towards the end of the month, things sort of moved more into relationship-based connection. Like, I want to say boundary drawing, taking a look at where I've depleted myself personally, how to live the day-to-day life when you're really wanting to help people, and yet there's not enough of you to go around and you have to make some choices and decisions. So for those of you that don't know, I do a call every Sunday. Those have been going really well, but of course there's pressure along with that because I'm like, what's going to be the topic coming up? And so it's been really interesting to see the difference in the energies already in December is a little bit more reflective. It's like, how do we move forward in expansion? We want to expand, but we also don't want to burn out. We don't want to burn ourselves out. And yet the universe is pushing us to expand and grow and shift and change all of the, just the light codes that are coming in and integrating them. And, sometimes you're sleeping, sometimes you're not. You get all kinds of physical symptoms that show up out of nowhere. I found myself getting touchy about certain things that were like, why is that bothering me? But then realizing, hey, there's still stuff that's got to be uncovered. And, in general, I would say that we're just at a period of time where anything goes. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen next. And I think that's one of the things that I'm looking for in this reading is to see what's on the horizon, for counterparts, for sacred union, but also just in general from an ascension standpoint. Because I don't know about you guys, but some of the things that have been coming up for me has been around the lack of sustainability of the trajectory. If you didn't know that we're on an ascension timeline, you'd be like, what the actual F is going to happen here? Because the grocery prices, for example, have just like they're 3 times as much, and you go to the grocery store and like damn, I can't afford gas now because I just spent a bunch on groceries. I mean, and it's Christmas time and gift giving season, and yeah, it's getting real. And it's so funny because being as focused on ascension as I feel like I am, it's never even occurred to me that what if things didn't change? But I found myself going, what if things didn't change? You know, what happens? Like, you know, just looking at, without getting into anything specific, you look at the US elections coming up next year, and it's like, I'm not even paying attention, but I'm thinking, oh my God, like if we were just going on about our regular everyday life without knowing that there was something coming, it's unsustainable. We can't continue on this trajectory. So we know that something is coming, but what is it that's coming? And yeah, so that's some of the stuff we're going to answer in this reading. I am going to go ahead and show you guys my tabletop and my Christmas nails. I love Christmas. I really do. I really love Christmas. It's just changed meanings for me now. It's more about sacred space. It's more about pulling as much love frequency and vibration into the heart. A true appreciation for those people in your life, in my life, and also just about, for me, it's just creating that sacred energy that you really have to draw in at this time. You can't just rely back on like these old programs to run. You have to run new sets of instructions for yourself to be able to enjoy some of this stuff, because a lot of us feel like we're kind of done with this game, you know? So, all right. So the first question I'm going to ask is, what is the overarching energies for sacred counterparts for the month of December, for the remainder of December? Let's look at that. Let's see what we come up with. What cards have we got? What's the basic information? Okay, Phoenix. That's one of my favorite cards in this deck. It really is, because it's about rebirth. It's about, you know, rising up from the ashes. And we also have the Crow. All right, so starting off with those two cards. I'm going to do a five card pull. This one wanted to jump out. Oh, isn't that interesting? Boy, is that kind of, to me, reminds me a little bit of the Christmas holidays here. That's the Bellows, and that's a catalyst. Wow, so we got a catalyst, and we've got the Phoenix, death and rebirth. Wow, and the Crow is about memories and remembering the magical power. But it's also about an event happening. We've got Saturn. Okay, Saturn. Let's just try and get one more. So whatever is going on in December is acting as a catalyst. That's I don't know if you remember from my last reading, my middle card is always the central energy card. And that's going in a 5-card draw. That's going to be all right. Oh, we got a Tower. Well, this is interesting. All right, so we've got the Tower as well. All right, so we're just going to look at these cards here. So the main energy is a catalyst, or some kind of something that gets something going. And what's really funny is it's paired right next to the Crow. And you guys, I think that when I was setting up this, you know, this tabletop and everything yesterday, I think that I got this same exact kind of information. An event happening. There's some kind of event happening that's going to get things going. So, and we've got 22 and 33. So we've got master numbers. That's interesting. Yeah, something's going to happen. I read in 2-card pairs. This being the central energy, we've got some kind of event that's going to spark something. And what is it going to spark? We're still in the energy of the Phoenix, which is death and rebirth. So is this the near-death experience that we've been waiting for? I'll tell you what, you guys, I feel like I've been having that. And I'll talk about that in just one second. But this is the Phoenix, total transformation. Total transformation from an event that's happening. And you know, the Crow is about memories and remembering. It's a magical power of remembering. And you know, isn't that what awakening is all about? It's about remembering. So it's taking the mystery and it's shining a light on it, and it's, you know, it's total transformation. Complete renewal is exactly what the ascension process is about. So as far as I'm concerned, the phoenix represents ascension. You know, so we're definitely talking about our way forward on a sacred union path really does have to do with getting things going in the ascension process. Now, interestingly enough, Saturn has to do with responsibility. It's the world card in the tarot. So it also it is the completion of cycles. It is structure. It is boundaries. It is also restriction. So sometimes Saturn comes through as a way to force you to look at or stay in certain situations, to try to figure out how to expand past the boundaries of them. But we've definitely got some duty and responsibility here with Saturn making its appearance right next to the catalyst. And then we got this. We got the Tower card. We got Mars. All right, so this is about upheaval. This is about sudden change. It's a Tower moment. And, you know, we're looking at the catalyst. There's some kind of catalyst here coming. You know, and don't be surprised if it does have a little bit of chaos, if it requires us to pull in, you know, survival. All right, I'm going to stop right there, and I am going to share that for me personally, I've had a little bit of that already, in that for those of you who don't know, you know, I left my family home, and I got my own space, my own sacred space. That's all part of my own catalytic heart awakening journey. And I have been so blessed. Kimberly and we work with Intuit cards, and we have been doing so well. You know, we've got an Etsy store. We have another store called the Intuit store. But this month with Christmas, the sales were dismal. And I'm just going to say it, I got the smallest paycheck I've gotten in a long ass time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And we'd seen a steady decline in sales. And we're like, you know, what does this mean? Because the economy. And I'm like not buying into that stuff, right? I'm a eternal spring of hope. So this month, the first 6 days of this month have really been me going, holy crap. You know, what happens? What's going to happen to change this trajectory? Because it really is unsustainable. So I know we're kind of going off topic of union, but this really, you know, our lives' journeys and how we handle our journeys and what state of being we stay in is all part of that journey. We cannot expect that you know, getting into a partnership, and I've come into a couple of conversations with some twins lately. Yes, it's like, oh, we feel like the cherry on top of our life is if we could be, you know, with that person, you know, that would make everything so much better. But the truth is that we're dealing with things that we need to deal with now. And they're important things. It's the world shifting, it's the world changing, and how we're handling it and how we're positioning ourselves is extremely important. Now, not everybody has, you know, any issues about the monetary aspect, but if they don't have the monetary aspect, they're still dealing with, you know, the structure of society and what's happening with the structure of society, and how is it touching your life and how is it affecting you. And our frame of mind and our feelings about ourselves and how we fit into this world and where is this world going, all of that stuff really does affect our journeys, because our journey first and foremost is about ascension. So let's go a little bit more into this. I'm very interested to find out what kind of an event, what kind of a situation are we talking about when it comes to this, the Tower? Let's find out. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out the Zodiac 108, and I'll tell you why the Zodiac 108 is so good for getting into specifics. It gets so into specifics. So there we go. I'm going to use the Zodiac 108 on this one. So what is it? What tower moment are we looking for? Okay, I got the diamond. All right, we got the diamond. Oh gosh, we've got some kind of creative force. Something multidimensional, spiritual power. It's invincible spiritual power. So that tower moment, doesn't necessarily mean, like a negative thing. We think of it as being a negative thing, but think about John Q. Public. All right, interesting. All right, so we got spring. We got spring, and we got the cat, which is interesting because that's apathetic energy. That's aloof. It's also unflappable. It's also not my problem. I want what I want when I want it kind of energy. Boy, that sounds a little bit like America in general. All right, we got another card that just popped. Now we've got chocolate, and chocolate is a really typically a very, very powerful and good. Oh my gosh, and we've got the cat next to the chocolate, which is, I don't know, unflappable, unaffected, but right next to doing things right, celebration. Whoa, elevated mood. Okay, we also got childhood. All right, so we got childhood. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at these cards. Okay, so we're looking at what is possibly going on that has to do with the tower moment. And the central energy is the cat. Well, I want to say that this is the energy that a lot of people are in terms of the world situation. Very disinterested in what's happening. A lot of people I know, they just don't even want to look up. People that were watching all of the stuff during the Q period of time, didn't matter what side of things you're on. Everyone used to be really interested in all of that stuff. And now it seems that people, oh my gosh, the word that just jumped off of the card for me is bored. Oh my God, yes. Okay, so we're asking what kind of thing is going to come to make a shift and change. And we're starting with this major energy of bored. But it looks like within 1 to 3 months, we're going to have something else happen that's going to be of invincible power spiritually. Okay, so maybe one of the things that's happening is we are, oh my gosh, okay, I'm just getting this as well, because this is something that I've been noticing. I've had a lot of childhood stuff come up lately. And I want to say that what I'm getting is during this period of time, we're actually looking at maybe preparing for some kind of moment, maybe preparing for a tower moment, or we could actually have a tower moment. And it does seem that it has something to do with the reorganization of structures possibly. But because the appearance of the chocolate card, I would say that it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's kind of like, I think I was just talking to someone about this. It's like bored, so bored. It's like this game is so boring. The only thing that stops it from being boring is that, there's some of us that are waiting for some shifts and changes to happen, which will allow us to live the life that we were born to live. And it seems like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking for that tower moment. I'm like, where the heck is the tower moment? When is it coming? Because I'm really ready to get things going. Because guess what? I'm bored. You wonder, how can you be bored? Well, it's like I don't feel like living for, how shall we say, living just moment by moment, seeing all of this unfold. It's like, yeah, you're watching a movie, but I don't feel like I'm actually playing the game anymore. I feel like I'm watching a movie. And as a creator being, I'm super interested in playing the game. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. I want to create something. I want to do something with myself. And, where we used to be here for the good things in life, whether that was, gosh, just going to a concert or, hey, it's Christmas time, let's go see the Nutcracker or whatever. I'm no longer doing those things. So is that, and that's stuff like stuff from childhood. I'll tell you what else childhood represents is new beginnings. So if we've got a complete renewal coming, if we've got an event happening, a catalyst of some kind to spark things, to get things going, it's indicating new beginnings. But you know what I love about this card too is it's about loving life again. Need of others. It's so funny because I think in that same conversation that I was having, we were talking about being bored, but it was also talking about missing the connection with others. And I was talking about how I used to, like in my neighborhood, when I was, in the midst of raising my family, I would have like these huge parties with the jumping thing for my kids' birthdays, and everybody would come over and we'd grill and this was when I felt like life was still happening. There was a playfulness, about life. There was a lightheartedness. It's like, yeah, we were actually in the process of losing our house at that point, to be honest with you. But it's like we're still playing the game. And I think that this sign right here is, okay, we're done playing this game. What comes next? So I want to ask, what comes next? Like how does this shift? How does this change? I mean, obviously we've got a tower, some kind of tower moment coming. I'm really interested to find out, how are things going to shift here? Like, what is shifting? All right, so I got the woman. And I would say that's each of us individually, since it's a collective reading. It's definitely me. Whenever I get the woman card, it's like, okay, we're talking about me. I mean, it could be a friend, but so we're talking about us. Oh my gosh, now look at this. Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune is all about expansion. All right, so what's got to happen? We've got to expand. Okay. Let's look at it. Okay. End of a season. Isn't that funny? End of a season. We're getting towards that holiday season. This could be figuratively. It could be, we're just going to see what other cards we get here. End of the season, expansion at the end of the season. We're gonna see both sides. You know what that brings to mind for me is Alicia Brachet's vision of the bridge when she said she was really surprised to see herself on both sides. Wow. Seems so unlikely to me. And I mean, gosh, don't get me started, but this is the energy I've been sitting in. It's like, I can see it happening, but could it happen now? Could it? Could it happen now? Could we go on that bridge now? Boy, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But again, it's like, what's the central card in all of this right here? Disinterested, bored, apathetic, disengaged. That's a good word too. Disengaged. All right. Oh, we got another card. Wow, we got another Dancer card. This is middle of the season. Now is not the time. All right, this should be interesting to see how this all ties together. All right, let's get one more card. So we're trying to find out how is this happening? How are we going to go back to new beginnings? What is this tower moment about? And we see that we are going to go through an expansion of some kind. We are in the process. Oh my gosh, and look at, I got the mice. All right. So that's right next to now is not the time. Okay, all right. So we are talking about December, right? But now we're getting, all right, now is not the time. We're in the middle of something. We're in the middle of the season. It still gets it done energy. It's still secure energy. It's still reliable energy. But we've got here the energy of the mice. And the mice, if you look at this is all the stuff. This is all the negative energy that we feel when we are maybe not playing the game or not wanting to play the game or being disinterested in the game. It creates in us stress, worry, anxiety. It nags at you. There's some stress there. It creates fatigue. It creates illness within the body. And worry and fear. So, I mean, maybe this is just a reflection of, the collective energies that people are starting to feel the pinch this holiday season. They're starting to feel the pinch. It really does make one go in and realize, like, okay, so we're really disengaging from this game, but what does that mean? And that means that we get bored with playing the game. We get bored with playing the game. We're like, yeah, I just don't get the same joy out of it. And I want to say this. There's so many cards in this just this square right here that are about the shift out of that energy. And let's take a look at them. First of all, we've got this Jupiter card. All right? Jupiter is all about optimism. It's about growth. It's about destiny. It's abundance. It's making stable changes. This card is very pertinent to, at least, from my perspective, and I'm wondering how many of you feel this way too. In a period of time when you might be feeling like, wow, things could come down. Like, if things come down, what does this mean? I'm finding myself making some changes, making some day-to-day living choices. How do I use my energy? How do I use my money? How do I, what's important to me? So this is making stable changes, but some of those changes may really be things that we've needed to make for a very, very long time. And let's face it, when we're bored with the game we're playing, don't we usually find something else to do? I just kick myself when sometimes it's getting on TikTok. Sometimes I'll just get on TikTok and I get sucked in and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is probably what they want. I need to get off of here because, it really requires us to go inside and use that time to make some changes. To take a look at how things are structured. How are you structured right here? Now, again, I want to go back to these two cards because I think these are super important. And that is the spring. It's either the spring, the new moon, which is on its way, 1 to 3 months is a timing. But a lot of people have been talking about the spring, the tower, this total transformation, an event coming, a catalyst. Now we're looking at the energies. We're looking at the energies of December. And the cards are basically saying there's some kind of that happening now. My inner knowing is telling me that we're setting the stage for it. And I'm just not sure which one it is. Are we setting the stage for it? All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just pull these cards off to the side. I'm going to ask some more questions. I'm very interested in this. Like, time is a funny thing. Time is a very funny thing. Because, so much depends upon, it's like event driven. It's not time driven. I'm going to go to the Z108 because I want to ask some more specific questions. Actually, I'm not. I think I'm going to pivot and I'm going to say, okay, with all of this stuff going on, how does this affect our unions? How is all of this stuff affecting our unions? This energy of December, the fact that we have some big changes. I mean, there's no doubt that there's big changes underway at the bigger level. Let's find out how is it affecting unions. Okay, well, we've got the storm. Well, it's a tornado. All right, here's a tornado. All right. Well, I'm seeing the word liberate. I'm seeing over and done. Sudden, unexpected end. And I don't think of that as being a sudden, unexpected end of the twin dynamic. Oh gosh, we got the clock. That's good. That means it's perfect timing. Perfect timing. The clock is perfect timing, and it's unstoppable. So what is this doing for the unions of the counterparts? We got the Wolverine. Whoops. Got the energy of the Wolverine. All right. What else? What else have we got? This is energy. What? Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. I love these cards how they pop right out like that. That's the tracks. So that's about steady forward movement, staying on track. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting some really good information how all of this is impacting the unions, the coming together or the solidifying of this energy, because everybody's situations are different. You know, some of you, oh wow, so we got the heart. All right, so let's take a look at these energies. I'm gonna actually shove these out of the way. Let's look at these 5 cards here. The major card of this, 5-card draw. I'm gonna take this. We need to get that mice energy out of here. The major card in this draw is the Wolverine. Okay, so there's the Wolverine. And that is very unpredictable energy right now. There could be some power struggles going on and I want to say this. For some of you, there might be power struggles going on within the union itself. For some of you, this may be power struggles going on within you. And then for some of you, there might be power struggles going on in relationships with others. Either you are having some power struggles with others, or they are having some power struggles with others. So let's look at this. We have the tornado and we have the clock. And during these energies of shift and change, transformation, the invincible spiritual power that is on its way, this catalytic energy. This is catalytic energy. We've got catalytic heart awakening, which I always say was the name that I was given way back when. Twin Flames, they said catalytic heart awakening. And that's for everyone. Everyone gets this. Catalyst. All right, so tornadoes are oftentimes catalysts. In fact, does it say catalyst? It doesn't say it, but what it says is a storm's brewing, torn up, a sudden unexpected end. So when you couple that with this power struggle, because that's the energy I'm getting. There's some of you may just be needing to assert your own willpower, like be fiercely assertive, fearless. I know I've had to do that myself lately. Just stand in my power. But look at unpredictable and tornado, torn up. So it does seem like something is going on in the background, and it's between relationships, whether it is between, I don't think it's between you and the counterpart themselves, because that is over and done. Unless we unless we couple that with power struggles. It could very well be that the power struggles are over and done and that you're liberated from it. The end. No more power struggles, which is kind of nice if you think about it. So that's for some of you. But for some of you, you know, there's counterpart issues that are going on right now with maybe a karmic. And I say karmic, meaning a soulmate, whoever it is in their life that's not necessarily the one that they're meant to be with for the long haul, but they're there for now. This tornado looks like it's perfectly timed. It's unstoppable, and it's necessary. I mean, it's necessary to liberate people from the situations that they shouldn't really be in. And I say shouldn't really be in. I think that there are situations where people are fulfilling contracts, but they've fulfilled them already and they just don't realize it, and they're not doing anything about moving on from it. They just keep going because it just seems easier. And there's other kinds of situations that, you know, we know of. Yeah, I'm not thinking of anything specific, but yeah, it's like the tornado can break down situations that need to break down. What's really interesting is on the other side of this, on the other side of the power struggles, we've got this steady forward movement towards the heart, towards love, towards kindness, forgiveness, romance, contentment, passion. You know, it's interesting that for me personally right now, that heart card feels so much more significant to me than, say, if the twin flame card came up. And I'll tell you why, because I think a lot of people that have been on this path have had a very hard time keeping their hearts open. And what it has felt like to me is in the midst of all of the shifts and changes, the catalysts, you know, the events that have been happening to help us to shift, the dissatisfaction that we've been experiencing with life, the trying to do the right thing, do things right. That's trying to elevate our mood. Sometimes it might even, like I'm thinking of the chocolate, sometimes we do those kinds of things to make ourselves feel better. Because overall, I really do feel that a lot of people, just from talking to people, a lot of people are feeling the energy of the cat, which seems cool, calm, cool, and collected. The heart is opening. The heart is where all of this is at. And it looks like we're making nice, steady forward movement on this path, that it is the focal point. That we are saying, I think I can do this. I really think I can do this, and making that steady forward progress to go the distance. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to take a look at what kind of obstacles are we having right now to coming into union? Like, what do we need to know? I'm going to pull the Z108 again. What kind of obstacles are we finding within our union that maybe we need to deal with it? Like, this is a general reading, so we're going to just see what the cards have to say about this. This one wants to come up. Oh my gosh. Okay, birdcage. So there's definitely something here about people not quite being in their freedom yet. You know, to me, that's the biggest obstacle to being with your person, is not being free. Okay, I got the bodybuilder as well. And that is the power and the strength and the determination that you need to make things happen. Now, I got changing. So this is changing, and changing is the central card, guys. All right, so I'm still trying to find out what is coming between us. Finding, woo, that one floated. Repairman. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the repairman says there's some change, repair. So I'm still trying to find out what is it that's coming between us. And I got yoga. You know, what is it we need to know that's like coming between us, or the state of not being together with that person? The good news is look at this, changing. Everything's changing. So it's in a state of flux. Anything could happen. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this event. Anything could happen. See, the thing is I'll probably go back and forth a little bit here, but anything happening is something that I was trying to allude to earlier when I said I can't imagine anything happening, but it doesn't mean it can't. It just means I can't imagine it. So this is saying we're in a state of flux right now and anything can happen. All right, so we've got the bodybuilder. We're in the process of pushing forward, self-improvement. This is a card of exercise and physical movement of the body and everything else, but it's personal power, it's strength, it's our discipline, it's resolving issues. And what kind of issues and what are we building on? We've got the bird cage right next to it. Well, just imagine what the bird cage is symbolizing. Codependence, wanting freedom. Oh my God, don't we really all want the freedom? Like from the limitations. It's the limitations. Let's face it. I said to someone this week, I said, it's like the world was constructed so that there was not enough money for everyone, and then they create a situation where you hate everyone for it. You know what I mean? It's like everyone starts hating each other because we don't have enough abundance to go around. So, but within the union itself, everyone wants freedom. No one wants to be controlled. No one wants to be in a hostage kind of situation, or a situation where they feel trapped, where they feel like they're confined. And the bodybuilder and the changing card, to me, kind of all go together in that in order to get out of this situation, there has to be a great amount of determination, discipline, the desire to push forward, to move forward. And what I sense with the repairman coming in at this point is that this is maybe the energies of, where is it? This, the diamond. This is the invincible spiritual power. Let's see, I'm trying to keep these even here for you to see. Okay, so we've got this invincible spiritual power that is showing itself. It's the light, it's the creative force, it's the faithfulness, and it is bringing the energy of the repairman. This, interesting word on here is reset, right? We all think about the reset, and a lot of us think of like the negative reset situation, but this is making adjustments again. So where were we making adjustments? Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. Making adjustments is the Jupiter, right? Making stable changes, making adjustments, turning point. But that's an expansion card. So here the power of the repairman is saying, hey, things are getting repaired. And, it's funny, we bring in the yoga card into this, and this is go within. This is meditate. This is rest. This is time alone. Inner child healing, which right here we have childhood. All right, so it's not unusual that in the experience of the childhood is where a lot of our inner child healing takes place. But so we're sitting here looking at the repairman. The repairman's coming in to make things, to fix things, to heal things, to repair things. So, and there's an upgraded word and restore word and mend. So, all right, so what is happening with the unions right now, what has been in the way is definitely the lack of freedom. But the really good news is that's changing. We're working on building some power within ourselves. We've got the energy of the repairman coming in to make changes, and we're implementing this in this, I would say, if you call it a holiday period, we come to the end of the year and we're exhausted. All of us, we're like, okay, need a break. Let's focus on something. Let's focus on our holiday season or something if we can. All right. For those of you, and I'm just going to keep, I want this. This is my favorite card in the deck. It is my favorite card is the Phoenix. I'm going to put that right here just so we can continue. I'll put it right next to the heart. The next thing I'm going to do is just take a look at, for those of you who are in separation from your counterpart, this is going to be for people who are in, that are not in communication, okay? And I know that there are some of you that are like just not in communication at all. I'm going to pull some cards that talks about, this is the Twin Flame deck. I'm going to pull some cards to find out like what would your person want to say to you right now. All right, so let's do that. Let's find out for those people in separation, what would their counterpart, I just saw 444 on this, 4444 on the recording. Let's find out what would your person want you to know right now if you're in separation. All right, we got one. Oh, wow. All right, I'm just going to read them as they come up. Don't be tempted to disconnect from source. Our source connection, our connection to source is the love and the healing that we require for reunion. So they might sense that you sometimes feel like there's no hope, or that it's not good enough to be connected with source, that you want that person there. And I think the information is don't forget where your true happiness comes from, is your connection with source. So even though I'm not with you right now, you can connect to me through source, because that is where we're connected. And it is whatever healing, the repairman, right? And getting out of caged situations, going within, that's where you're going to find that. That's where you're going to find that. Connection with source is what's going to help you find the shifts and the changes. Sounds like with that tornado, that's probably doing some help too. All right, what else would that person want you to know? What does the viewer's person want them to know? You know what? There's a card that's sitting right here that wants to be pulled. I always felt I had a higher calling in life, and our connection brings me more clarity on it. All right, so this person wants you to know that they feel that there's more for them to do than they're doing right now, and that when they think of you, they feel like somehow you unlock that in them. Okay, for some of you, you have a counterpart or a person that doesn't know whether they have what it takes. So they watch you and all that you're doing, and maybe even know your philosophy of life. Yeah, and they're like, I don't know if I have what it takes. That person is so far beyond where I am. First of all, they're probably saying, what do they even see in me, is what I'm picking up on. Yes, a lot of doubt. But see, I also think that that's some of this stuff that's happening, this changing that's taking place, what's kept you apart. I think that there's energies coming in that are working on that. But some of you may have people that are just not sure if they have what it takes to be your partner. This one wanted to jump. Okay, this is interesting. All right, I'm just going to show you this card. Something about stagnant energy. Our energy is stagnant. Triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. Okay, so this is the connection with the person that you're not in contact with. And so what they're saying to you is when you get triggered, even if it's stuff that has to do with me, not me, you know what I mean. When you're triggered, these are the things that are helping to break up the lack of movement in our connection. In other words, don't avoid the triggers. Don't sit in this space of, I just need to be at peace and everything be hunky-dory, lovely, or whatever. This is, don't ignore your homework is what I'm getting. Because this person is saying to you, there's stagnant energy. There's no movement in this connection right now because nothing's happening. You have to shift. You have to change. You have to take the triggers that come to you and do something with them. All right, let me see. All right, let's see what else. What else does this person have to say to you? I may pick more than 5. There's no central energy to this. And I'm feeling that and I'm feeling that some of these messages, you're going to know if this message is for you from your person. It's not, obviously, each message isn't for every single person. So some of you, let's see what another person has to say to some of you. You're going to know. See, that's the beautiful thing about this connection, is that you're going to know. You're going to know what is for you and what isn't. And that's how I feel like when I read these cards, because they do have the keywords on the cards. I know which words I know. I just know. It's like there might be, 20 words on a card, and I'm like, yeah, it's this one. All right, let's see. What else? We got a message for anyone else? Yes, we do. Oh, wow. All right, for some of you, your person's trying to connect with you, and they want to know if you can hear them. So just stop and ask yourself, have I been thinking about this person lately? Is this person on my mind? Do I feel their energy coming in? I can think of a few of you that I've talked to really recently that probably would answer yes to that. You're feeling it. You feel the change is coming, guys. You know that the change has to come. It's inevitable. You know, and there's times where I've given up on that too. Like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen in this lifetime. It's not going to happen. And it is going to happen. All right, so we got a mirrors card. Let's see what this one says. I've watched you change and grow so much. I'm trying to release my attachment to identity so I can change too. Okay, that's a very similar energy to I'm conflicted whether it takes that I have what it takes to be your partner, because this person is watching you. Like, so this is probably someone who can at least see your progress. Either they're watching you on social media, or they have family members that know you, or your friends know each other, or maybe you're even touching base from time to time, or have come together from time to time. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that this person, again, is not sure they're changing like you are. Like, they are. I want to say that they are changing, but they are not sure if they're not keeping pace with you is the way they feel. And they realize that they're pretty stuck on who they think they are and probably don't want to change. So they're wondering if they can release the attachment to this person that they think they are. Yeah, I'm thinking of someone very, very specific right now is coming to my mind that is definitely dealing with this, because they're attached to a particular lifestyle and they have to change their lifestyle if they give into this. So yeah, let's see what else. I like this. This is feeling really good. Like, some of you really need these messages. Okay, so some of you have a counterpart that's realizing just how special this connection is. Like, I don't know if it's because you've pulled your energy away a little bit, but they're feeling you. They're feeling that this is a very special and treasured connection. And it may actually be what's awakening them to the connection. Is it's like they've always felt that you were important to them. And I'm getting that this is even for some of you that are in contact and connection. All right. So All right, so I'm getting more information now. So some of these messages coming through aren't just for people in separation. Some of this is actually for people that are in contact with each other. All right, let's get some more messages. Messages from your beloved. That's the name of this deck, by the way. Messages from your beloved. What other messages have we for the viewers that are watching right now from their loved ones? Now we're going to look at whether they're in contact or not, and I will know. All right, let's see. Okay, karmic ties. Oh boy. Okay, well, this is a definite for a lot of people. My heart is with another right now. I have to finish this contract. It's a karmic contract in order to be free. Yeah. I'd say that that's a biggie for a lot of people. And they're wanting you to know that. It's like they can't give you their heart because if they tried to give you their heart while they're still in connection with another person, it's impossible. You can't do it. I mean, I don't want to say that you can't love more than one person. Of course you can. But how can you open your heart with the true love and everything without knowing that you're not coming to the table fully able to give of yourself? You can't give that, I want to say, Ace of Cups. You can't make that offer. Your heart belongs to someone else. And listen, they may love you a lot. I mean, with their entire being. But it's impossible to give of yourself if you are with another. All right, so this is another message coming in for someone, and that is that the situation that we find ourselves is being caused by the both of us. Look at your role in the situation to help us change it. Because for this particular card, I'm getting the message is, you think that this is just on me, but it's not. It's also on you. And though I know you've done a lot of work, it doesn't mean that there isn't something that you need to shift. In other words, yes, I'm accepting responsibility, but it's not just me. So go in and check. So if that's ringing true for you, you're probably going to want to go look at it. All right, let's see. All right, what we got here? One more message maybe. Oh, wow, this is a good one. I'm not giving in to fear. I know fear is only an illusion. So this person's trying to tell you that, I'm not giving in to fear. And I want to say that they're saying to you, don't give in to fear. Don't give in to fear. So we've had a lot of messages come in from different beloveds. Some that have been in separation, some that aren't. I think the last thing I want to do is just go ahead and I want to find out. Let me see here. What else do I want to find out? What is still looming in my mind? This is when I wish I had somebody here to say, hey, well, what about this? So, if you have questions like about this stuff, and if you have questions you want me to ask in the next energy report, please write them down. I thought of one. What is the most important thing that you can be doing during this month to prepare yourself or to improve the steady forward movement? Let's do that. And let me see, which deck do I want to use? I'm going to go ahead and reach for the Intuit Oracle. All right, let's find out, what is it that you can do? I want to say to get yourself in alignment. What do you need to focus on in order to help this changing process, right? Change process, the repairman. What can you do? All right, I got the bear. Move some of this stuff over. I got the bear. That's strong. Be strong. Be protective of this connection. Be the boss. Because the time has come. The culmination of the effort is coming. The the release, the fulfillment. Oh, focus on your needs. Oh my God, I just got very emotional. Focus on your needs. You are getting ready to move on from all of this. You are getting ready. Oh my God. I also got the stork, which is another transformation card. So you are getting ready to transform. So stay in your power. Stay in your power. It's like the air is just, it's ripe with pregnancy for shifting. And then we got the falcon, which is rise above this. Stay in your higher self. Use your far-reaching vision to see beyond what you're seeing now. It's developing. Wow. So you have to stay strong. Focus on what you need. Be aware that there's a renovation going on inside. There's a transformation. There's a change going on here. And you need to see from the highest perspective. Rise above all the other bullshit. Yeah, your far-reaching vision. Your far-reaching vision can see that it's all developing. Yeah. Mental acuity, clever, intellectual, the element of air. It's definitely developing, you guys. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. We're at almost exactly an hour. That's crazy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I did want to, for those of you who have made it through the whole reading, I want to reiterate from my call on Sunday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's really good. That I am now open for sessions. So if you'd like a session with me, I do a 2-hour session that can involve a card reading. After I do that cornerstone 2-hour session, it's 2.5 hours, really get to know you, I can do cards for you anytime. So, but I do not like to just do cards from a psychic standpoint. To me, it's so much, the responsibility is on my shoulders to not steer you wrong. And I want to know who you are, what you are. And when you talk to me, I learn so much. I can tune in to the Akashic records. I can tune in to the people involved in your situation. And I get such a great understanding. Then I could read cards for you all day long. Just ask a couple of people in my Telegram chat who I've pulled some cards for. It's like unbelievable how you can do a 5-card pull for someone just to see where they're at when you know them. So, yeah, so if you're interested in a reading, just go ahead and book it at the link below. And I guess until next time, I'm going to probably come back for another card reading before January, I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, thanks so much for the time. Take care. Bye.